Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Startup Central, and let's now put the spotlight on Zetwerk Electronics, which is part of the $2 billion worth Zetwerk manufacturing business. In fact, the company on Saturday inaugurated its largest electronics manufacturing facility near Chennai. The 15-acre campus will play a pivotal role in strengthening India's position in the global electronics system, design and manufacturing sector. In fact, Zetwerk was established in 2021. It's a contract manufacturing company which delivers end-to-end manufacturing, electronics manufacturing services, or EMS, that is from concept to production. But what are some of the near and long-term targets of the company, and what is the company looking at achieving, especially when it comes to opening this massive production facility? To discuss that and more about the company, I'm now joined by Josh Foulger, who's the president of Zetwerk. He's part of the electronics division. Thank you very much, Josh, for joining us here on ET Now and taking the time out.
Thank you, Sumita, for having us. We are quite excited about this inaugural and milestone, and excited to be here in ET Now.
Right.
Looking forward.
Right, Josh, so you have been a prominent player in the EMS space, and this is a big announcement coming in the unveiling of your largest manufacturing facility near Chennai. What all will you be manufacturing here at this facility specifically, and what gives you the confidence to bring about this sort of an expansion to the company at this point in time?
Sumita, thanks. And really, this is our 7th factory in India, and we are in 4 states. This is the 4th state where we are inaugurating a facility. So we do have some boots on the ground. We have some experience. Today, our offerings are probably among the widest in the industry, in the ESDM industry. We anything from I'd say a 1.77-inch screen to a 120-inch IFPD screen. And anything in between is sort of what we manufacture, right from consumer, industrial, out to strategic electronics. We have a fantastic team which is focused on manufacturing excellence, having the engineering backing, and then really delivering what the customer needs. And the customers, we have been servicing, around India. And then very soon, globally, will be global value chains and Indian value chains. This particular campus in Tamil Nadu is going to be significant, for us, because Tamil Nadu is one of the largest ESDM hubs, and it also houses a lot of the adjacent industries as well. So this factory starts with consumer durables. Electronics is what we will focus on. The next will be the compute or IT hardware. And then third, we will focus on automotive. And all again, the idea is to serve customers, in India, and what I call the India Plus, market as things. And then we are really excited, Sumita. Back to you.
Right, Josh, that sounds like a plan. You had mentioned that this is your 7th facility that's coming up in the country, and you're pretty excited about setting up this facility in Tamil Nadu. But what is the overall capacity of this unit? And when you mentioned that this is for exports as well, India +1, which are the markets that you're initially targeting, and what are your long-term growth plans with respect to expansion internationally?
So I think the government of India, Honorable Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Minister was at hand in the inaugural. And really, what we see is lining up with the government of India's $500 billion plan of ESDM by 2030. We want to give our own small but significant contribution towards the Honorable Prime Minister and the Minister's goal. We think that the industries and the market segments we will look at is India, and in the India Plus category will be US, and looking at Europe and any other adjacent markets where our global value chains want to support. We are already seeing a lot of positive traction with the expansion of our footprint, coming from our customers. And so while this particular Building, I will say, is I'll say medium size, but I think this campus will be very soon large size, catering to customers.
Right. So, Josh, when you say that this is a large size campus and you are essentially looking at catering to markets like the United States, Europe, and adjacent markets as well. But which companies have you tied up with in terms of, rolling out your production targets? And what are the revenue projections that you're looking at, especially from this facility, and then your overall projections for the coming 1 year?
I think one of the things, Sumita, we have realized is that we have to work in each ESDM category. We have to work with the best, the top one, twos in the particular category. Looking at consumer durables, compute, consumer. We are a big player in hearables and wearables, and so we have to work with the best in class. And we've been lucky working with the best in class customers. And we learn with them. We learn the expectations are higher in terms of the quality and the delivery. And of course, when you do both these things, efficiency is better, and your cost competitive to be globally aligned. This particular facility, as it expands, will become part of the I'll say the Tamil Nadu ecology, but it's also connected with Bangalore, where a lot of global value supply chains are very active. I would say for now the last 20 years, automotive is one of the areas which has been added as well recently, and so we really see that the logistics infrastructure, right, the skill base, and the existing customer ecology will be a great sort of start here. And when you look at the government of India's next plan is to do more value addition in India. When you get into the supply chain, looking yes. at components right. and things like that, all that ecology right. is already right. here. And we really want to be a part of enhancing and then possibly accelerating as a lot of the global value chains are looking right. at India as a viable alternative.
Absolutely, and with all of the geopolitical developments that are happening, India is being trusted as a geography that other countries and brands and companies can really bank upon. And Josh, the automotive segment is a very interesting area to sort of venture into, given the buzz around Tesla coming into India as far as that is concerned. There's been no confirmation on that. But since I asked you about the revenue projections that you have and you didn't really give a number, do you want to give us a bracket number or any near-term targets that you're looking at? Because when you talk about the opportunity, it's always good to add a number to that.
No, I think at this point in time, we are a reasonable part of the $2 billion business. We will definitely grow faster than the industry, and so I definitely see the electronics division of Zetwerk sort of making its mark. Well, in our business growth as Zetwerk, and also the India's ESDM contribution, which is today at about $150 odd billion. But my plan, Sumita, is to grow faster than the market, which we have all early indications. And so hopefully in the near future, I'll be very confident in giving you some
absolutely. And
some
Josh,
very robust numbers.
Josh, you have a lot of competition. You have a lot of competition in this space, especially when you see not just automotive production, but electronics production. There are very many players getting at it. And like you rightly mentioned, the components ecosystem, the value addition segment is also coming up quite aggressively. But just a final few questions before we let you go, since you mentioned about this facility being designed to become an export hub, and you're looking to leverage US opportunities as well. But there is a disruption happening, and the industry is fearing that there could be more disruption as a result of Trump's imposition of tariffs and then reciprocal tariffs. How big of a concern is that, and how are you looking at that news development?
I think I come from a time of global supply chains used to be well balanced and diversified. I think the last 5-6 years, global value chains have been realigning. I'll say maybe more in a very temporal manner. But I think now what we anticipate is a lot of the global value chains will look at more longer term view on how to develop a supply chain, because the supply chain development takes years, to build. India, for its merits, is really being looked at increasingly as a longer term bet instead of a short term band-aid. And so I see us as Zetwerk with a very strong engineering focus, with a strong customer focus, and a very strong expertise today in having experience with the markets like US and Europe, are going to come out very successful. Yes, the market is competitive, and yes, this is something we will contend with. But I can tell you, the more and more customers we meet across a wide portfolio of offerings today, we slowly see ourselves becoming a preferred choice of partner in various things. And as we expand into other things, we definitely see that partnership continue, because these are all very long-term partnerships, whether we talk about GVCs or Indian value chains, IVCs. These partnerships are long and standing. So we definitely see, and a lot of credit goes to my team, our founders, our board, who's been there supporting in this direction. So we definitely see that.
Oh yes, Josh, that's without a doubt. That's without a doubt. But you are saying that there is no cause for worry so far as these global developments are concerned, Trump's tariffs are concerned, and the fears. You're not really following that. You're saying that those are rather unfounded. But one final question, and I have to ask you this on the IPO. When are you looking to go public? What's the timeline essentially you're looking at? Is the IPO market looking attractive to you?
Well, I have to say that that's a little above my pay grade, but I will say two things. One is, I think the electronics has today become an index, if I can say, in the markets in India, and this is something which our founders and our board is very actively working on, and we are from the electronics division, very keen to support Zetwerk in whichever plans we may have, looking at the markets, the public markets going forward.
All right, Josh, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts, for joining us here and talking about your 7th facility that's coming up in Tamil Nadu, that's going to cater to the domestic market, but also international markets as well, including US, Europe and adjacent markets. Thank you very much indeed once again for joining us right here on Startup Central. And ladies and gentlemen, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the show. Hope you like the show as much as we did putting it together for you. From me and the entire team, goodbye and thank you very much for staying tuned.